What the Taj Mahal is to India, Eiffel Tower is to Paris. The quintessential landmark on every Paris itinerary, the architectural marvel holds quite a few interesting anecdotes to its name. Read on to find out some crazy facts about Eiffel Tower, which we bet you didn't know. The Eiffel Tower was supposed to be a temporary installation for the 1889 World Fair held in Paris to commemorate 100 years of the French Revolution. It was ultimately never taken down because an antenna was built at the top of the tower to conduct wireless signals. The Eiffel Tower is still used today to beam radio and TV broadcasts around the world. When the Eiffel Tower was built, many eminent intellectuals of the day, including famous French author Guy de Maupassant, protested vehemently against it, calling it a gigantic black smokestack that would ruin the beauty of Paris. In 1944, when Hitler was about to lose Paris to the Allied forces, he ordered the whole city to be demolished, including the tower. Thankfully, the military governor in charge did not follow through with this command. The tower lights up each hour at night and sparkles in what is called the illumination show. However, you could be fined for taking a picture of this and sharing it on Facebook, since the government claims that this light display is artwork and therefore copyrighted. The Eiffel Tower hosts more than 6 million approx. visitors each year, making it the most visited paid monument in the world. Now, if that doesn't convince you to visit this bizarre, beloved, beautiful monument, nothing will. So, what are you waiting for? Depending on what time of year you visit Paris, you can get to see some fireworks or witness the tower glowing in bright colors. But no matter when you visit, you can always witness the magic of the Eiffel Tower at night. When visiting the Eiffel Tower at night, there are a few ways one can optimize one's experience. Keep the following 8 tips in mind, and you're on your way to something breathtaking. If going inside of the tower and to the top of the tower isn't something that interests you, and you're happy to view her from the ground, then the Champ de Mars is where you want to be. Visiting at night, especially in the summer, is what many groups of travelers do. The experience is different than the day and these grounds surrounding the tower are open to the public and usually always have lush, green grass to offer. Bring along anything that will make your time under the tower more comfortable. Blankets, cushions, and perhaps even a picnic. Depending on where you are staying while in Paris, visiting the Eiffel Tower isn't always a case of simply strolling down the road. Venturing into the 7th arrondissement might be a journey for you, so make a full evening out of it. You've seen it in films and probably printed in a few magazines. Now it's your turn to see the Iron Lady in all her glory under the cover of the Parisian night sky. The Eiffel Tower, as a tourist attraction, stays open until close to 12 midnight each day, allowing as many night visits as they do day ones. It is lit up from dusk until 2 a.m. While venturing up the tower is an unforgettable experience, both day and night, one doesn't have to splurge on the cost of a ticket to have the iconic experience. This structure is visible from across the city. Whether you're in it or simply near it matters not. Plus, you can also climb the Eiffel Tower at night. The first 2 levels are accessible via the stairs, and this option will save you a bit of money. Imagine what Paris looks like from the tower itself, and you can stop as often as you want to take in the magnificent views of the City of Love. Another thing that's quite specific to the Eiffel Tower area is the South Asian guys selling bottles of wine and beer. More precisely, these guys wander the Champ de Mars, the big grassy area to the south of the tower. They spend their entire day carrying a heavy bucket full of ice, beer, and bottles of wine and champagne. I've heard that they will try to charge outrageous prices for their wares, and that makes them the only people on this page with whom I have any problems whatsoever. I've also heard that they will give you a reasonable price if you haggle with them. Though although perhaps they won't give it to you very graciously, remember, these guys are hauling those heavy buckets around all day long. There's a perfectly good wine store a couple of blocks away on the Ruckler, and I don't know why anyone would buy their booze from a guy with a bunch of bottles in a bucket, but hey, these guys gotta make a living, too. Here is a wide pedestrian path, right along the Seine River, though elevated from it, and stretching for miles with lawns, flower gardens and trees, benches, and playgrounds. Begin walking eastward, upriver, and you will pass directly in front of the Eiffel Tower. Here at the bridge, Pont Dina, is a colorful carousel and concession booth, giving the atmosphere of a small fair. The Seine River that passes through Paris is often nicknamed Paris' most beautiful avenue, and not for nothing. Some of Paris' most iconic landmarks are located near the Seine. I highly recommend taking a boat cruise on the Seine so that you get a glimpse of all these monuments from the outside. But it is also worth going on shore to visit them. The convenient Vedettes du Pont Neuf or even the Bateau Bus Company offers a good way of navigating on the Seine from one monument to another. beer before I go for having some food. My friend from Paris was explaining things related to Eiffel Tower. The Arc de Triomphe stands at the center of the Place Charles de Gaulle, also known as the Place l'Étoile. It's located at the western end of the Champs-Élysées. The arches hold a court of style is an entire tradition of sculpture from the first half of the 19th century. After climbing 284 steps to reach the top of the monument, you'll be greeted by one of the most spectacular views of the Eiffel Tower for a second or two. It looks like the tower is floating on top of the Parisian rooftops. From here, you can also see down the Champs-Élysées and all the way to La Défense, a major business district in Paris. The best time to visit is when the sun is starting to set over the city. If you're really lucky, you'll see the Eiffel Tower sparkle for the first time that evening. The Triumphal Arch is in honor of those who fought for France, and in particular, those who fought during the Napoleonic Wars. Engraved on the inside and at the top of the arch are all of the names of the generals and wars fought. There are inscriptions in the ground underneath the vault of the arch, which include the tomb of the unknown soldier from World War I, where the memorial flame burns and has made the Arc de Triomphe Paris a revered patriotic site. The Triumphal Arch is wheelchair accessible. For people traveling in wheelchairs, access through the tunnel that connects the Champs-Élysées to Place Charles de Gaulle at Oil is not possible. You must be dropped off by car directly at the parking place reserved on the roundabout. Access to the museum room is then possible by an elevator, which is preceded by 3 steps. Assistance is then necessary. You must inform the Arc de Triomphe staff in advance of your visit so that they can welcome you in the best possible way. Access to the rooftop of the Arc de Triomphe will not be possible because it requires the ascent of a spiral staircase of more than 40 steps. The toilets of the Arc de Triomphe are also not suitable for disabled people. ticket price is €13, free entry for those less than 18 years of age and family, excluding school groups. 18 to 25-year-olds, European Union residents, and long-term non-European French residents, people with disabilities, and the person assisting them. Unemployed persons, upon presentation of a certificate of less than 6 months. For all, the first Sunday of each month, from November 1st to March 31st. Climb up the Arc de Triomphe and enjoy the most spectacular views of the City of Lights. Due to its height, at 164 feet, the terrace presents a very different view of the city. You can see rooftop gardens, chimney pots, private courtyards, the 12 avenues that converge at the area around the Arc, and a breathtaking view of the Eiffel Tower. It is particularly fascinating at night as you also get to enjoy the shimmering city lights and the light show of the tower. Go at night, and you will see the Eiffel Tower sparkle above the city when its light show kicks off every hour on the hour until 1 p.m. But don't forget, you'll discover some of the most fascinating views by looking down, especially during the day when you can see chimney pots, rooftop gardens, and fascinating inner courtyards you'd never see if you were strolling down the street. Take a moment to check out the 12 avenues converging at the small plaza surrounding the arch. From up high, they look like the spokes of a wheel with the terrace where you're standing as its hub. You'll see the city laid out before you in a 360-degree panorama with famous sights such as the Eiffel Tower easy to spot. Use the brass and stainless steel telescopes placed around the terrace to see them up close. The circular blue location guide helps you figure out what you're looking at or photographing in the distance. After sunset, the Eiffel Tower light show will take place every hour on hour. The display lasts about 5 minutes in total and will repeat through until sunrise. The tower sparkles with the light of 20,000 light bulbs. Also, the summit's searchlight scans the Parisian skyline, making for a magical scene. Back in 1999, the Eiffel Tower was fitted with that many light bulbs to celebrate the new year. It took 25 mountain climbers just over 5 months to install 20,000 light bulbs on the tower, and it cost 4.5 million euros. Only meant to last for that one event, it later became a permanent fixture in 2003, and thank God for that. Until you see the Arc de Triomphe up close at ground level, you can't fully appreciate all of the intricate bas-relief carvings, ornamentations, and inscriptions covering most surfaces of the massive monument. Wonder what they are and why they are there? Look closely and you'll see the names of 158 major battles fought between 1792 and 1815 during the French Revolutionary Wars and Napoleonic Wars, where the French armies claimed victory or tried hard or avoided total defeat. As some historians point out, laurel wreaths separate the battle names into small groups to make them easier to read. The arch also includes the names of 660 officers, mostly generals, who led the battles. Notice how some are underlined. They're the ones who died fighting.